Hi, Mira. Hope you're doing well. You played great at the recital, like you always do. Very proud of you last week. I know you're working on the Sonatina by Dussek and continue with that. But there's another piece in Suzuki Book 4 that I think you should probably get started on, and it is a minuet by Mozart. It's from Eight Minuets with Trio, and I believe it's the very next piece in your book after the one that you performed at the recital. So it goes like this. And that section repeats. Um, some very kind of peculiar things about this piece is that the eighth notes are sometimes written as little grace notes or appoggiaturas. So on the first line, we have a little trill on the first note. We're just going to do four notes like that, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. So you don't have to rush that trill. 1, 2. And notice there's some slurs in there. Whenever you have a slur from one note to the next note, the second note is usually shorter and softer. So we're going to go and make that one staccato. Not really short staccato, but just a little bit shorter than the other note. And you see how the what looks like a grace note was played as an eighth note. And right there also, just think of it as two eighth notes. 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, and then repeat. All right, on to the next section. You see there's another one of those, they're really called appoggiaturas. They look like grace notes, but they're played more like eighth notes. And that section repeats. Then we get to the trio section, and almost always a trio section changes key and moves up a fourth. So we were in the key of C, now we're going to be in the key of F, so watch out for those B flats. 1, 2. So notice the appoggiaturas in this section turn that measure into all eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. One and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, now we get to the really fun part because there's a trill, a turn, and another trill, and we're going to kind of do them all a little bit differently. Here we go. So that trill is going to be four notes, and trills generally will start on the note above the note that's written. So we have C, C, E, and then the trill on E, but we start on F and do four notes. So it's just going to be, and then, the next note in the next measure is F. So once again. Now we have a turn. The note is C, and we're going to turn around it like this. See? There is another way of doing it. You can start on the C and then turn around. And I think that's a good way to do it if you would like. And then another trill. And I like to do this one with a little, what they call a tail. Like that. It's not just, but adding the tail to it. And look at the fingering. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. By using 3, 2 at the end, it makes it a little bit easier, and you can usually go a little faster by doing it that way. And then to finish the song. Now the left hand is pretty easy, but you don't want it to be very noisy. And like we've been learning ever since Suzuki Book 1, when you have these kind of Alberti type patterns, and this is not exactly Alberti, but it's close, you should make the first note the deepest sound, or the loudest sound, but not too loud. And then all the other notes pretty soft, especially your thumb. So a great way to practice the left hand is to do it with stops. So you play the first note and then go. Stop on the first note. And there I just played the quarter notes at the end. And I will say on this particular piece, the last three measures of each section are the hardest parts. You're just jumping around a lot on the piano. You know, the right hand is bouncing down through those sixths, and the left hand has to have a pretty decent fingering. There's a few options there, but you do something that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now the trickiest part, of course, is the last section, and I'm going to do it really, really slowly with all the embellishments in the right hand and the left hand as well. Once again. And let me show you each embellishment. So the first one, pretty simple. The next one, I'm going to start on the D to keep it simple. So 1, 2, like that. 1, 2. All right, and the final one is really like two sets of triplets. So it's 1, 2, triplet, 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 1, 2. That's a good little spot to get down because the left hand is kind of doing something a little unnatural there. You kind of more, you're used to doing Alberti patterns. So to end a pattern like that, and then to get the right hand in there at the same time, takes a little slow practice first. All right, good luck.